Guys, let's finish out the show here on a strong note. NBA playoff preview. I definitely want to get into this, make some predictions. Pretender, contender, always really fun here. And I think I did this last year in the bubble, and I don't know if it really worked out good, but we're going to try it again with here. I want to start off in the Western Conference because I think, a lot of really interesting teams. And I want to start with probably, the biggest story at right now around the NBA, or one of them at least, and that's the Lakers, who obviously you got LeBron, you got AD, and obviously, coming off the title last year, they won the playing game against the Warriors, and they'll be playing the Suns in the first round, which is probably the best first round matchup, maybe pound for pound. This is, I think, going to be a really interesting matchup. I mean, Lakers obviously barely beat the Warriors, who didn't make it. Grizzlies won that final game on Friday. But Thomas, we'll start with you. Pretender or contender, the Lakers here. What do you think about them?
The Lakers are pretenders. The Lakers are pretenders, and it's because they're just not the same team as they were last year. And, they have probably the hardest path to the finals, except for maybe the Celtics, but, whatever. They're not making it. The Lakers aren't either, because the Lakers, AD isn't his normal self. He hasn't been since he returned from injury. Even LeBron, when he's still clutch and can make game-winning shots like he did against the Warriors, I don't know if he's going to be in the same chance. He's not going to be in those opportunities against the Suns, who are a lot stronger team than the Warriors. And he's lost a step since the ankle injury. He was definitely not shooting as well at the beginning of that playing game as we're used to seeing from LeBron. And it's just a really tough first-round match. Like, the Suns are arguably the best team in the Western Conference, and the fact that you have to face them first round, you're not really going to get a break after that, even if you could beat the Suns. It's just a really tough road to the finals, and I just don't see them repeating.
Yeah, to quote the great Randy Newman, I love LA. The Lakers, for me, I'm going to go contender. Now, I'm a LeBron fan. I know LeBron gets a lot of slander on the show. But look, by contender, I'm talking about a team that's going to make it a little bit further in the playoffs. I'm not saying Lakers are going to win the title. I'm not even saying they'll make it to the finals. That being said, as long as LeBron James is on 2 feet and can walk and run and shoot the ball, I can never count him out. And the Suns are obviously a very good team, a very tough matchup. I think it'll be a great series. I think it'll at least go 6 or 7. I get it. AD hasn't been the same. LeBron has been hurt. Both him and AD have been out basically the whole second half. AD has been out for a lot of the year. That being said, the two of them, I get they haven't been the exact same, but on the court together, I can't count them out. Andre Drummond, who knows what he can do in the playoffs. I mean, Montrezl Harrell, I don't know. They have a lot of supporting pieces that I like typically. They're able to keep their heads above water despite the injuries. I think they can make a little bit of a run. I would love to see them, surprise some people. So I'm going to go contender. I don't know if they're necessarily going to win, but I love LA, like Randy Newman says.
I think they're a pretender. I mean, I really do. I mean, it's also because I think I like the Suns a lot, which, we'll get to that later. But like this Lakers team, I don't think that this has the same magic that they do last year. I think, maybe you still have AD and LeBron, but I think it's different. I think every year is different. And I don't know. I just feel like, look, I know the Warriors, they played probably their best game of the year, but it's not like the Warriors are even in the playoffs right now. They're not, they're done. Grizzlies are in. And I don't think the Grizzlies are, world beaters either. I think they'll probably lose to the Jazz. But it's like, to me, I just think that, you barely get out of that playing game. And now you're not playing like a bad team. I think people, just because the Suns, obviously they don't have a LeBron type player, great team. And they may arguably be the best team in the Western Conference. And I just like, even if they beat the Suns, then they'd have to play the Clippers or the Jazz, the winner of that series, which, eventually down the road. Again, I don't know. I just right now, I just don't see it. And as much as I think a lot of people, like, I'm usually the person, like, I'm not like a LeBron lover, not a LeBron hater, but usually I don't bet against LeBron. I'm going to bet against him here. I mean, this may be the first time in a while. I think it's just the injuries are piling up, and I don't know. I think this West is just so strong that he can't do it right now with AD. And to me, I mean, Andre Drummond, I mean, I wouldn't really rely on him, going down the stretch. But Lakers, I think they'll be an interesting story. I think people are kind of split on them. And I think we'll have to see what happens here in the Sun series.